Hi, Chris Holloway here. I'm one of the members of the Special Educational Needs team here at Sancta Maria College. September 2021, as with every September, is all about integration. It's all about getting the pupils settled, building friendships, good relationships. We normally do that with an activity which helps bond themselves to each other, which is usually surfing. We were very lucky last September, that's 2020, where we still got to carry out that activity, even with the restrictions in place. But on the whole, September is a settling in period, and that normally extends up until October week. Pupils, when they do arrive, probably won't notice, but teachers are well versed, will have all the information they need on particular pupils with additional needs. And we've normally put things in place before they arrive. Those pupils who are only a small minority, we do offer level 2 and level 1 courses for those pupils, should they need them, and should a professional report suggest with one of the recommendations that they need that. But this is usually put in place. Getting the copies of those reports early is vital so that we can prepare. The primary schools do send those on, and it's just obviously good to check that anything else that you do have in the house is passed on to us. On the first few weeks, indeed up to October half term, it's pretty much getting pupils self-organised, responsible for their organisation. We do have lockers in the school, but unfortunately with restrictions in place this year, we've not had lockers available for pupils. However, if and when restrictions change, then lockers may become available. Pupils are responsible for checking their work after school, for checking themselves, any classwork that they have to complete and any homework that they need to do that evening. And we do tell them to obviously encourage them to organise themselves prior to the school day, so the evening before, to get themselves sorted for anything that they do need to bring in for the next day. Mid-September, we test the pupils with what's called a CAT4 test. This is an internal test that we do, and it gives teachers an awareness on what the possible learning styles might be for every pupil that we have in the school. And that just enables us to tailor our lessons and differentiate where we need to. There are pupils who will be available to or unable to have an exemption from the study of Irish. That exemption is subject to strict criteria, and by the end of primary school, they are usually granted a certificate for the exemption, and that needs to come up with the pupils, which the primary school usually send up with us. As I said, the criteria is quite strict, and so it's only a very small minority of pupils who will be exempt from the study of Irish. Up until October half term, the pupils are settling in, but by October half term, we normally have challenge in every lesson, which the pupils then we can see how they cope, and normally pupils are flagged by teachers who are still struggling, and with that we might need to put in some support in place for intervention. But of course, by putting in intervention, we'd also be pulling them out of certain classes, which they'd either have to catch up with or they'd have to miss out on a particular time, which is why the intervention is usually a short-term intervention. The intervention that those pupils have for the non-Irish groups, they will normally have an extra literacy, and a numeracy lesson every week, in place of their normal Irish classes. But again, these pupils are those pupils who have great difficulty with Irish, and obviously are exempt through the strict guidelines. And finally, communication. We always encourage parents to communicate with the school should they have any problems, or if they're finding their child is struggling in school. And the best thing to do is to get in touch with us as soon as you can. And then any problems that you find that your pupil is having, we can normally put something in place to help as far as an effective intervention. Thank you.